round 4. Another episode where things have been a little bit crazy. Nick, very busy. Tim, very busy. But we still wanted to get some stuff out to you. So this isn't going to be a normal episode where Nick and I are sitting down and chatting, but we, like I said, wanted to bring you something. So what we are bringing you tonight is a couple very exciting things. First up, we are going to move over and, like we've promised, talk to Brittani. Brittani won Virtual Survivor Season 2. Very, very exciting that she won Virtual Survivor Season 2. She continues to win things. And Nick sat down for a conversation with her. I wasn't able to make it to that one, but Nick was able to sit down, talk with her, talk about the whole season of Survivor and everything and her win. And it was very good. So we're going to go and look at that interview right now. After that interview, we're going to transition over to a new movie review. I got a new movie review for you for the new film Shelby Oaks, which was directed by Chris Stuckman. I have some thoughts on that, so we're going to talk about it. But first, we're going to hit up that interview with Brittani. Enjoy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to round 4. I'm sure Tim and Nick already said that. I'm here with a very special guest. It's the winner of Virtual Survivor Season 2, Brittani Tapley. Brittani, you're not going to believe me, but and I might have told you this already, but me and Anna, when we started the show, when we started Season 2, we each picked winners. Anna picked Megan, and I picked you.
You did? Yeah, you did. You did.
So I want to thank you very much. First of all, we're obviously doing this interview because you weren't able to make the live finale.
Yeah.
Give everyone an update to the level at which you're comfortable. How are you doing? Is essentially what everyone wants to know.
Yeah, I'm still struggling. I'm still off work. I'm still not sleeping great. I'm not going to get into the details too much. It's like stomach related, and it's been. I felt like crap for like 3 months, to be completely honest. But I'm getting there. My doctor's like optimistic and whatnot, and I feel hopefully in a couple of weeks to a month I'll be back to normal. But as you know, stomach problems, they can linger for a little bit. So
they really suck, dude. So
yeah, it's nothing life threatening though. Like nothing too crazy. It's just I felt like crap for a couple of months. It's unfortunate.
For sure. No, I don't think anyone can blame you for taking it easy, because it really does suck. But I think everyone is glad to hear that you are not dying, first and foremost. Because perhaps we'd like to see you on a future season of Virtual Survivor. But you won. Question: Did you expect that at any point? Because you went don't say no yet, because you went into the game very much knowing that you were a target. Like you said from day one, like I need to underplay how good I am at things because people already know I'm a target. So did you think you were going to win? And if truly not, why didn't you think you would win?
I truly didn't. I thought like I had a chance if I could get in like the alliance that I did, like maybe I could make it to Final Four. I didn't think I'd make it past Final Four. Like I thought, okay, maybe there's a chance I make it to the Final 2. But I'm like, there's no way in hell I'm convincing 4 people to vote for me. It's just not happening. That's just not I'm not a big toppy person. Like, I just really didn't think I'd be able to convince people that I could win it. So I was like, even if I get to that moment, it's not going to happen. I remember when I prepped for the Final 3, like I prepped pretty much everything, including jury questions. Like I had everything prepared, but a victory speech, because I was like, it's not happening. Like it's fine. I'll do it, but I'm not going to need to. So even like when we got down to Final 3, I still had no confidence in myself.
Down to Final 3. So I don't know if you watched the live finale, but we spoke to Joe quite a bit about at the live finale. And Joe was pretty confident that he blew Final Tribal. Were you aware of that? Like you said to Final 3, at what point did you kind of know, like, all right, I think I have this?
No, like, okay, so here's the funny thing that I think's like a little ironic. Everyone, like, they didn't work, what Joe didn't work on anyone in the jury, obviously. It worked on me. I remember I was sitting there thinking like, oh my God, I did the terrible game. I did nothing. There was a moment where I'm like, should I have gotten Joe out at 5? And then very quickly I was like, no, you shouldn't have. But like when you're sitting there like hearing like, and first of all, there's no bad, like, I don't have anything against Joe. First of all, like he thought like bashing my game was gonna Yeah, no, go for it. Go for it.
It hurted more than anything.
Yeah, exactly right. But even had you won, I still wouldn't have that's what you thought you had to do. But yeah, I remember sitting there thinking I'm like, oh my god, like how can they not vote for him here? And I thought I had like 2 votes max. Like I knew Megan was voting for me, I was pretty sure. And she saying nothing. I was like, okay, maybe that will go for me. But I'm like, maybe she'll flip a coin. Like I don't freaking know. So I was like, maybe I have 2 votes. But even going into it, it wasn't until after that night when I started playing it through, and I was like, oh, I see how things that he said went, yep. And I was like, oh, and that's when it came to it. Yeah.
I will say, watching it back, and there's only 2 examples of this, obviously, because we've only done 2 seasons. I will say, like, yours and Robert's final tribal performance is what I think won each of you your title this at the finale, and I'd like your take on it. You played very similar to Robert. You sort of like you hung back a lot. Like there were people who were out there. Like Robert had people like Paul and Cody and Jacoby, and you had people like Mark and Joe and John. And you ultimately held back, went to the finals with the one least capable of pitching their case. At least it would appear. And pitched a really good case. Quite frankly, you could have done nothing the whole game. And if I saw your which I don't think you did, by the way. And if I saw your final tribal performance, I would have been like, oh, obviously she's the winner. So it genuinely shocks me to think that you didn't know it at that point. Because I watched you winning again, and there is genuine surprise there. So I fully believe that you didn't know.
Yeah.
My question, I have many questions, obviously. Any regrets? Anything you wish you had done?
Oh, well, no. I mean, obviously, the obvious answer is no because I won. But would I have liked to gotten like Mark out at 8? Yes, that would have been cool. 8 or 7. Like when I still remember when like that vote, when I heard there's 2 votes for John, like, frig, why couldn't John have won there? Because that's the reason why I wouldn't have flipped there, because I would never have gone for John before Mark. I knew Mark had to go first. But yeah, I do kind of wish we could have gotten Mark a little, because I was very nervous going into that final 6, knowing that they had a 3 alliance. It could have very well been 3-3. But I just really trusted that what Mark had done had broken the trust, and it was right, thankfully.
Yeah, Mark's a good friend of mine, and he went in very overzealous, I think. Yeah. Question about that alliance. You were the last one to leave the night they made that alliance, in that first post-credit scene of the premiere. You were the last one to be like, all right, bye. And no less than 2 seconds later, are they like, great, we're all in an alliance. I don't know. I don't. How did that feel? Like, I just think that's crazy that you were literally there 2 seconds prior, and then this alliance that kind of drove the rest of the game. That piece of knowledge that Joe gave to you is what I think gave you the leg up on Joe at the end.
Well,
that much.
Yeah, like I don't act like I knew it, but I did. Like I knew from the very first time we were talking, those 3 guys had so much in common, and I was freaking out, like in my mind, obviously. And I was like, oh my god, those 3 are gonna form an alliance. And I remember the first night we all left at the same time, so no problem there. But I remember saying, I think they're probably going to form an alliance. But then the second night, and I think that's when it happened, right when I went off, I said to Ryan, because I had to work early in the morning, so like I just can't.
You're not going to stand there and baby.
Yeah, no, like whatever. Like, and it's going to happen eventually was kind of I'm not going to be able to prevent it. So yeah, I remember saying to Ryan, like, I feel like they're going to form an alliance here. Like right after I signed off, like they're probably going to. And that's, exactly what happens. So.
Who would you say ultimately your strongest alliance was with? Because at one point you had one with just about everyone on your team, like your original tribe, minus John. Or no,
yes.
You felt strongest with John at one point.
Yeah, like John, I didn't talk to a lot, but I found I knew just by voting with him, that's how you kind of showed loyalty. So, and I knew by being tight with Joe and Megan, so Joe and Megan, I guess is kind of my answer, that through them, I'd have my ends to John. But Megan, if I had to pick for final 2, even though I think she might have beat me, I was planning on taking Megan. It just felt like the right thing to do. And yeah, no, Megan she wasn't right away, but I'd say she became my strongest ally at the end. And I knew she was the crucial piece to getting John out in Final 4, and I'm so glad.
Do you think you could have beaten Megan?
Megan, no. I think I think Megan could have beaten any of us, honestly, even John. Like, I didn't think it at first, but when I was prepping for Final Three and was going through everyone's game, I was like, shit, like, Megan actually had it. I didn't believe it at the time. Like, when I was telling Megan he's going to beat us all, I truly believed that. But, like, after the fact, I was like, I think Megan, if she can argue it right, which I think she could, especially with her, like, her background and I think her chill attitude would help too.
Yeah.
I think she would have won. She would have had John's vote over me. I think she might have had Joe's vote. Probably Mark's. The girls probably maybe would have been 1-1. But yeah, I think she would have won over me. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I definitely think it's possible. Yes, she could argue, and her story was just so like.
Yes.
The day before.
Oh, it would have been so
She went and snuck off into these other rooms, even though like she had no clue what was going on. Like,
yes.
I was so happy with the way Megan played the game. And I very much look forward to having her back on a future season. But I do think I think John and Joe's overconfidence and bluntness throughout the game was ultimately their downfall, to where I do think you and Megan were the stronger pair of the two of them. Maybe John could have gotten to the finals and sort of said some stuff, but like ultimately I think there's a lot of sour taste, but not towards you.
Yeah, I think if anyone could have, it would have been John. Like, I think he might have been able to, but I think I didn't realize until watching it through, like, how blunt they were. But yeah, I don't know if they ever had it, because I think, like you said, they didn't realize, like, we were playing season 1, season 2 of Survivor, where you really just need to get them to like you to win. Like yes, you have to play a good game and you have to like prove that, but really you just have to win over the jury.
Yeah.
Like, and I knew that, but I think they were really playing Survivor, whatever we're on now. So.
That was Joe's downfall. That was Mark's downfall, was to go in saying like, according to Survivor standards, I played the best game, so you should vote for me. Yeah. Where in reality, T was sitting there like, no, you all pissed me off. I'm not voting for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just think the ability to recognize that it shows that you were good at playing this game. Because it's picking up cues like that help you get to the end. The question that I didn't get to, you played like this. I think Robert played like this. Do you think someone will be able to get away with it again? I feel like in future seasons, people are going to be like, it's the quiet one. Get them out of here.
Not for the next couple, no. Like, I think they probably will get forgotten again, because like it's so hard to patch that person. Sometimes it's like too late. But I think as soon as the next couple seasons, as soon as the under the radar person gets like discovered, they're going to be gone. Like, I don't think they're going to be able to, unless they like, no, because even if they make a big move or something, then they're gone the other way, right? So now I think they're kind of screwed. So I think like Robert said, like a Jacoby, a Mario type is probably gonna win. Yeah.
Interesting. I love it. No, I love seeing it. If you were to play again, would you change anything?
Yeah, and actually, you saying regrets, or the regrets thing, I actually want to go back to, because when you mentioned Megan, that's actually something I would do. I wish I had done, but I also would plan on doing, and that's the immunity idols. I don't know why, like, when you would say, like, Anna, what did you say? Like, what do you have the boggle word of the day, or whatever you said to her?
Blew my mind that only one person.
I just kept thinking, like, oh, what a weird thing to say. Like, why on earth didn't think to myself, like, why, Brittany? Why? Like, I never thought that. I just was so into the game, I think. It wasn't. So that's something I'm planning, and I would have to do next time, because I'll obviously be a big target as a winner. Like, it'd be very hard for me to win. So 2 things I would want to, I'm going to have to really try for the actual, the immunity challenges. I'm going to have to, like, really try to win those, but also really try and have a sense for when you're doing stuff like that, and try and get those hidden immunity idols. And then the other thing I would do is probably change my game up a little bit, because I'm probably not going to win twice. Like, I can't see me or Robert. Yeah, maybe, but I probably would want to take some chances and do some things that I didn't do last time, because I was a little afraid to do. Like, why not? So I think I just do things a little differently, and I'd have some fun with it. Yeah.
I would like your opinion after seeing the show through on Malcolm's transformation throughout the game, because it shocked me how he was like double dealing behind people's back.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it, like, when we found out that it was him doing it. And like the thing that we were saying, like, why didn't he just like bring, because had he brought in people, and we had discussed, because I would have done Mark at 8 probably. So like, had we brought us in over, it was IDS, I probably would have done So yeah, that was really interesting to watch. And there was sometimes I remember playing too. I'm like, should I bring in Malcolm? And like, there was a couple times I tried talking to him, but like then people would come in and like it
I'm
was.
not gonna lie, Brittani. When it was Final Five, all four of you. Actually, to his credit, John did not say this. John said he wished he could have dragged Malcolm to the end. But the other three of you were very convinced that Malcolm was the biggest threat. Is that true, or were you just trying to like stay tight with the people you had? Because from my perspective, and I was wrong because I hadn't seen all the things Malcolm was doing at that point in time. But from my perspective, Malcolm was the guy you wanted to sit next to.
It was when they like compared him to the other tribe that freaked me out. I'm saying he's a lone man. I'm like, Frig, if he gets to the end and he spins that story, because if anyone on the other tribe had done that, they probably would have won. That's kind of what freaked me out. But the other thing too, and this is nothing against Malcolm because he did do well in some of the challenges. Joe was the only person that had won immunity challenges up to that point, and I knew we needed like all the power we could get going in the final four. So I was like, I think I need Joe here, right? So that also was weighing on my mind as well. And I just, Megan told us she had the immunity idol, right? So obviously Megan I wasn't voting for. So Malcolm just made the most sense. But yes, comparing him to the other tribe is for me what really sealed his deal. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's just crazy. It's crazy to watch, right? It did not go the way I thought it would go. I had a plan of like, we're not going to do a tribe swap. We're just going to get rid of three. I did not expect the other tribe to disappear completely. And I think you and Malcolm were the only ones kind of teetering with the idea of breaking that alliance at first. Obviously, it worked out for you. So I don't think anyone can be like, oh, she should have done that. No, she shouldn't have. She won. Like, what?
No.
Your favorite challenge? What was your favorite challenge?
Oh, wow. Yes, I do know. Buzzword was one of the things we did. The one with the words, and we had this like spell. I thought that was really, really, really creative. It was really good, like team, like a team challenge. I thought we had to work together, and then it made like John get all creative with his like signs and stuff with the no talking. That was the most fun one that I had. In anyway, yeah.
You said in the show that you were not trying as much in the challenges early on. Is that true?
Partially. So team challenges, yes, absolutely. I was trying. I wanted to put a good impression on, and I want us to win. Like as many people as we could have going to merge, the better. Final 9 and 8. Like I remember saying, like in my interview, I was like, "Oh yeah, I was running." Like no, I was not running with the book. I was like, "Oh, whatever, I'll get there." But like, no, I didn't really. Like no. And then I remember the one for the memory challenge. You, the third one, I zoned out. I was like, nope, because it was the second of the night. I was just like, no, I'm done. I'm good. You're not going home. Like, you're fine. And my brain was like also just kaput for the night. It was like 11 o'clock where I was.
That moment, though. So Mark won that challenge. And that was the twist thing. Do you think Mark would have got home that night if he hadn't won that?
I would have probably.
Would you have voted for him? I guess
I would have probably voted for him. I think it would have been too enticing not to, and I think I would have had the argument for like, John and Joe and them. I'd be like, I'm not against you guys. Like Mark was against. He was against all of us. Like you know what I mean? It would have been like not against. I think I would have been able to talk my way out of it. So yes, I probably 90% would have voted for Mark. Yes. You didn't see me. I was not happy when he won. Yeah.
Yeah. I did see that because I went back to all the footage and you were
okay. Like, yeah, I was not happy. No.
Oh, so great. Brittani, you were fantastic in the show. You are fantastic in life.
Thank you.
I find it very funny that you keep thinking you're not going to win things, and then all of the shows we put on, you win them. So.
Also, one thing too, how funny is it that Final 2 was against someone named Joe? Like, how fitting was that?
I was thinking that the entire finale. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, of course.
Hysterical. But Brittani, any closing thoughts on the season? Obviously, you won $100. For those watching, we're trying to figure out exchange rates from you. So we'll get there. But actually, no. Before final thoughts, are you a general Survivor fan in general? And are you aware there was a Survivor Canada at one point?
Yeah, yes and no. Like I feel like that's something I knew at some point, but I forgot. When that happens. But I didn't watch that. And yeah, I was I think I've watched like every season except for the last couple ones. Like you said, like the post-COVID just didn't really do it for me. I really tried with them. And then the last one of the seasons I watched was okay. Like when the girls won, I was like, okay, this is a fine way to like just end Survivor. And I stopped watching it. But I remember, like, I don't know if I talked too much about how much I watched it while we were playing, but I planned on like downplaying how much I watched because us through COVID, me and Ryan, we watched all the
Mark put a
Survivor.
target on his back from the get-go by saying, like, hey, I'm gonna go apply for Survivor.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Stuff like that, like free, especially people that haven't played, and but also people or haven't seen it. Sorry, but also people that have. Like I was like, oh no, I don't want to play with you. Like, no.
Is there a player in actual Survivor that you consider yourself to be like?
Oh, I should have thought about it more because I remember you can see it when John asked Joe. I'm trying to think of someone I couldn't, and I still couldn't.
That's fair.
Oh.
You might not remember names or anything like that. That's totally fair.
Yeah, because that's a problem. Everyone that I can think of for names are like Boston Rob and Tony. I'm like, well, I'm absolutely nothing like them. So like it'd be kind of cool if I was, but no, I'm not. So no, it's someone who I guess, like I said, flew under the radar and was loyal. Whoever, someone like that would be me.
Awesome, Brittani. I thought you were fantastic in the show. Do you have any final closing thoughts?
Not really. Just that this whole thing was just such a fun experience. It was even if I hadn't won, I had way more fun than I thought I would. And like watching through the final tribal, I was so proud of myself. Like even though, like you said, even though Joe kind of messed it up for himself, I find it really.
You also dominated. Like even if Joe like put on a good performance, you really.
Yeah, there was some answers I gave because, like I said, I correct things, but obviously they couldn't know what they were going to ask. So there's some answers I was like, oh my god, look at me go! Like how did I think of that? Like, so I was just really proud, and I thought it was just like a good like growing moment for me to like come out of my shell. So this was just such a great experience. I really wish I could have been on the reunion show just to see everyone one last time, but I thought it was super entertaining. And yay to Megan getting favorite player. She was my favorite player too. So I was very happy about that. And no, this was just an amazing experience. I'd happily come back in a couple of seasons or more.
Fantastic. Well, hang by the phone and we'll let you know. But
awesome.
Keep an eye out for the $100. Like you have won $100 yes. To you. I said at the reunion, the exchange doesn't matter. It's 100 Americans.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe you're in for a surprise. But Brittani, thank you so much. Thank you for playing. Thank you for winning. Thank you for coming here to let us know how you're doing all these many months later. So for now, we'll kick it back to Nick and Tim, who then may kick it elsewhere. Who knows?
Why didn't you give it to the police?
I needed to see it for myself.
We are here now for my review of Shelby Oaks. So I wanted to talk to you guys about this one because I have some feelings. So I have been a fan of Chris Stuckman since 2014, I think is really the first time I remember watching him. One of the earliest memory I have of watching a Stuckman video was, weirdly enough, the Lego movie. That was around the time I was getting into like AMC Movie Talk, which I believe was around then. If it wasn't, it came out very shortly after. But I had just discovered Stuckman, and then I got into Jeremy Johns after that. And Chris Stuckman and Jeremy Johns are the two movie reviewers that I have watched and followed very closely for that entire time, for this whole time. Like there's people that have come in and out, but they are the two that I've watched. I really value their opinion, and I've even gotten to the point where I see so many movies that I actually wait to kind of watch their review until I see the movie, but I watch every video they put out because I think they're just like really great guys, and I really enjoy what they have to say about movies, and they're very different, and the way that they talk about movies is very different. But all of that to be said is I've been a fan of Chris's for a long time, so I've watched everything he's done, and when it kind of came out that, you know, he was putting together the Kickstarter to fund Shelby Oaks, I did donate to it. So I have that kind of going for me, looking at the movie from the outside in. Like I did donate to the movie. I did do the tier. I should put up the picture. I'm going to put up the picture on screen. I paid the tier that got my name in the credits. I took a picture of it at the end of the movie. There it is. I was very happy about that. All I did was donate some money, and I got my name in the credits of the movie, but I was pretty proud of that. I felt good. I know that another person in the community, Maria Hammond, she also did the same. So if any of you also did the same, let me know. I'd be interested to know. But I was really excited because I'm a big, like I said, I'm a big fan of Chris's. I think his story is really interesting. If you didn't know like his whole story, like if you go back, he put out a video, I want to say probably 2021, where he kind of talks about like his family background and how he got into movies and everything. And I think it's just a really good story. And he's just a person I really, really admire. So I wanted to donate to his project. And if you didn't know, it ended up being one of the biggest, if not the biggest Kickstarter of all time. Big money. He made I think over $1 million on this Kickstarter. Went and made the movie Shelby Oaks, and then it was put into festivals, picked up by Neon, which I think from the outside, like when I explain this to my dad, like he doesn't know Neon, like he knows he knows 20th Century Fox, even though it's not what it's called anymore, and he knows Universal. But if I were to say A24 or Neon or something like that, like he doesn't know what those are. But I consider Neon to be a major studio. Like I think they're a big player in the game, and they picked up the movie, gave him some more money to go back and make some changes, and that's what we have now in theaters everywhere, which is just crazy to me as someone who works in the movie theater exhibition industry. It was just crazy getting to hang up the poster, a Chris Stuckman film, around the theater, promote the movie, and then get to put the poster up, show the movie at my theater. Is just really cool. So I actually got to see the movie a week ago today, during AMC's Scream Unseen. They do AMC. I'm promoting my company, I guess. We do like once or twice a month different unscreen titles. So basically you don't know what it is when you go into it. Shelby Oaks was the movie a week ago, and so I got to sit down and see it, and I liked it afterwards, but I was a little nervous that I was like, okay, maybe this is just me being excited about the whole Chris Stuckman thing. Like I'm a big fan, like I love horror, but I'm like, I don't know. I had some issues with the movie. That being said, I went and saw it again 2 nights ago with Maggie, and I liked it a lot better the second time. I was able to kind of sit back, and a lot of the plot hole issues that I had the first time weren't actually plot holes. They were actually pretty well explained. I just didn't know because I think the movie doesn't do it does a really good job setting it up, setting up kind of the whole mystery of the movie, but it's so short, which is an okay thing. The movie's only an hour without credits. The movie's only like an hour and 19 minutes. So it's moving so fast that a lot of stuff kind of like just goes right over your head. And upon rewatching it, I found it a lot more fulfilling, where I was like, okay, I see now what he's setting up because I know how it's going to end. So I think the biggest flaw in the movie, basically, it's a horror movie. It's a debut horror movie, and I think it's a pretty good debut, but there are some the biggest issue I think that a lot of people are going to walk away from it is that it does feel like a lot of different movies. And that's not a bad thing. Like a lot of my favorite movies are just retreads of things that we've seen a bajillion times. But you definitely get I've heard a lot of comparisons to Hereditary and M. Night Shyamalan movies, and all of the comparisons are very just. I think that that didn't really bother me. To me, I think the biggest flaw, not even flaw, but just issue that I had with the movie was honestly the performances, and I think the script, which sucks because I love Chris, and I wish I didn't have to be like, hey man, I think your script is gonna. I think the story is very interesting, but I think the dialogue itself was pretty rough, and the actors that he had, I don't think necessarily were able to take that dialogue and really flesh it out. The first time I watched the movie, I thought his lead actress who plays Mia was phenomenal. I thought she was really good. Upon second viewing, I realized she doesn't really say much. She does like she has dialogue, obviously, but there's a big chunk of this movie where she's just emoting, and when she's just purely emotive, I think she's doing really well. And that goes for all of the actors. But I think once it comes down to the dialogue itself, it's just not the best. I think that the dialogue was something that he definitely struggled with. I'd be interested. I kind of said this after, well, this was years ago, and I don't know that my review is still up. It might still be up on the Tim Loves Movies YouTube channel, but when I reviewed Hereditary the first time, one of the things that I said was I think Ari Aster is a really great director, but I just didn't like the script. And I'd love to see him direct something that's not written by him. He has yet to do that for me, but I think that Chris is, as of right now, what I'm seeing is I would like to see him direct something that he hasn't written. But again, the performances on the whole, the lead actress is great, I thought, but everyone else pretty mediocre. There's nothing really stand out about the performances. But the biggest strength of the movie is the atmosphere and the scares. I think the movie is genuinely really freaky in the sense that Stuckman did a really good job keeping the movie spooky. like there were lots of moments where it's like tense, uncomfortable horror moments. He really captures that, and I thought it was done extremely well. There's lots of like, I don't know how to say this without spoiling it. There's lots of scenarios that the characters are put into that are very uncomfortable and weird and bizarre, and when they happen, I think from the camera work, the cinematography, like the way the movie's shot, lit, and everything, like it looks really good. And it gives the good atmosphere that you want from this type of movie. So on the whole, I liked it better the second time. I think because a lot of the, like I said before, a lot of the issues I had the first time were plot based, script based, and most of them were kind of resolved upon second viewing. I still kind of see that as a detriment. Anytime that anybody says to me, like, well, you really got to see that movie twice to fully understand that, I think that's bullshit. I should be able to get a movie the first time. But this one, again, I think that I liked it better the second time once I knew what was going into it. And why did I see it a second time, you also may ask, is I did want to support the movie. I wanted to give it my money. I gave it my money when I donated to it, but also I saw it for free the first time, and I really wanted to pay for it, go out and see it, go out and support it, not use my free tickets that I get. Oh, excuse me, for working at the theater. So I'm glad I went out and supported. I'm glad that I saw other people sitting in the theater, and I actually haven't looked at the box office numbers, so you might know already what this movie did over the weekend, but I do not. The last I looked at Friday, and it made like $1 million Friday. So we'll see how it did Saturday and Sunday. But I hope this gives Chris the opportunity to get to his next movie, because I think the dude is really talented, especially behind the camera. He's seen a bajillion movies, and he's watched and critiqued so many movies for so long that I think he knows from behind the camera, especially, what is good. And I thought he did a really great job. So on the whole, I think the movie is one that if you are a horror fan and you don't mind seeing something that is you've seen before, you've seen a lot of what's going on in this movie before, you're gonna enjoy it, but it's nothing to write home about. It's not a Get Out level directorial debut. It's just not. But I think it's a really strong start for someone who clearly just loves movies, and I couldn't be happier for him. I hope the movie's a success. Thank you to Neon for picking it up and making it possible, because damn, it was cool to see it in the theater and to see a Chris Stuckman film show up on the screen. I can't imagine how he feels, but for me, a big fan of his, it was a really cool moment to see. So those are my thoughts on Shelby Oaks. If you have thoughts, like I said, if you've seen it, or if you were a GoFundMe backer the way that I was, or that Maria was, let us know. I'd love to talk to you. Love to hear your thoughts on the movie. But that's going to do it for me on this review, and I'm going to shoot it back to me. Thanks, Tim. Oh, what a review. Thank you, guys. We're going to be back in a couple weeks with another episode. Very much looking forward to it. Lots of stuff going on here. Teams tournament is going. The singles ladder is beginning tomorrow, I believe. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it starts tomorrow. So lots of really great stuff. I am sleepy. Ellie woke up really early today. Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching. We'll see you guys real soon with more stuff. Until then, have a great night. We'll see you next time. Bye.